Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Pillars of Eternity. As I continue with my blind Let's Play. Last time we almost made it all the way through the White March, the first part. And I got stuck on the final fight in the Forge. And rather than smashing my head against the wall over and over, I decided to kind of come back for that. I know that's very disappointing since I was right there after completing all that. But I'll come back for it. Right now, I'm going to talk to a good bit of the party members, start their, or not start, but, you know, kind of continue their quests and whatnot. I think what I'll do is actually try to finish The Man Who Waits this time, and then kind of go from there. We'll see. First, we're going to talk to Zawa.
So the dwarves of Durgan's battery did not destroy themselves after all. They fell to invaders.
Well, it's possible someone survived and escaped this place.
We have discovered things thought to be lost. Their influence may yet persist, but we have seen no invaders, and the battery was shut. Did they come only to destroy the dwarves, and then leave?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your thoughts must flow deeply, indeed.
Indeed. I'm going to talk to Grieving Mother.
Your mind comes bearing questions, what?
Yes. Perhaps you'd like to hear what I saw in your memories. A mixture of curiosity and fear wells up between you. She raises her left hand, the chiming at her wrist quelling the rise within her. She is frightened, but curiosity anchors her.
And what did you see in my memories? I would hear you speak of them.
The dream, the memory I saw upon meeting you. I was you helping give birth to a child. There's a silence, and as the breath falls still, you hear the faint cry of a child in the distance. A newborn child, almost exactly like what you heard in the dream. As you listen, the Grieving Mother raises both of her hands as if weaving. Her wrist chiming as she does so. In a semblance of gentle turning she provided while the newborn was crowning. To your surprise, you recognize the motions and the words from the memory, even as they are new to you. As she weaves her hands through the air in front of her, the child cries grow still, yet the sound of the chimes weaves almost hypnotically into your thoughts. The sky seems sharp and clear, and you feel if you are towering over your surroundings, as if kneeling atop a great pillar, just as she did in memory. To your surprise, the Grieving Mother falls as if her strings were cut, and her knees crack hard against the ground. Her hands never cease moving in the air, the chimes echoing her movements. In a raged voice, you hear her speak. The voice is that of a much older woman than the one before you, harsh, almost desperate.
Tell me what you saw. Show me what you saw. Where were you?
I'm trying to remember. I really don't remember. Was it a mountain ledge? I'm gonna try mountain ledge, see what happens, I think. It was high up, snow, I think. She leans back as if looking back at the sky, but her eyes are closed, the film building on them. With a slow intake of breath, you feel time become quiet around you. I do not feel the memory. I do not know if it's mine, but her hair falls across her features again like a veil, and she nods. Not with her chin, but a push in her mind. But thank you for trying. Maybe I could help you recall it. Actually, it's the same dialogue. Yeah, that's the same dialogue.
Tell me what you saw.
Oh,
Show me what you saw.
That might not have been.
Where were you?
Okay. How about this? We were in the middle of a clear forest with a strong wind tearing through it. Okay, never mind. What if we do the last
Tell me what you saw.
huge forest? Okay. There we go. Goodness. She kneels before you on the ground. She whispers to you, hoarsely and even faintly, the distance between you.
The stone of the plateau. Its color.
Oh, goodness.
Tell me its color.
I don't remember. I don't remember. It's been several parts ago. I don't know. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say it's Audra. As you watch her hands rise before you, she clasps them, then cup them as if feeling them for the first time, and then she stares down the cradle of her hands, and the chimes sound once, twice as they swing with movement.
And what did these hands hold?
Oh boy. I'm tempted to try the chimes instead of the how the mother watched her give birth. Let's try the chimes. That's not it. Okay, hang on. Hang on, everybody. I'm so sorry.
Tell me what you saw.
Huge forest.
The stone of the plateau.
Audra.
And what did these hands hold?
The mother she gave birth? No, that's not it. So it's the child, I guess.
Tell me what you saw. The stone of the plateau. And what did these hands hold?
I'm not sure. There was a child you were bringing forth in your hands. I don't recall. There's a sudden intake of breath and then a release. Her eyes blurred closed, forming into slits, but a brief glimpse you have her changing expression. The rippling pain in her features seem to have smoothed. She swallows once, twice, and you feel her once again in your thoughts, the rasping husk of her voice swallowed and drawn within her.
It was the birthing bell you saw. Has it been so long? Have I forgotten so much?
With the words comes a river of impulses, thoughts, as if loosed from a beckoning dam. Breaking. I'm so sorry. And as your mind wraps the impulses into words, you realize it is her muscles and her hardened thoughts relaxing and breathing again. There is such an intensity you almost want to step back from the flow, but you find the wave of impulses cause questions to float to the surface. Watcher. Among them is a name, Watcher. So what is the birthing bell?
It is a plateau formed of the spirit stone Audra. At its top is set a great bell, cradled in the reaching arm of the plateau. It stirs in the wind, and it sounds for leagues when struck by kith hands. In distant times, the great bell served as a Glanfathan watchtower, perhaps. Why they abandoned it, I do not know. Other men came in time, settlers, and claimed the tower as their own. I, in turn, claimed it from them. The pillar became a cradle where I could draw new souls into the world.
Where's the birthing bell located? Lies deep in the great forest of Deerwood, at the borders of the Glanfathan lands surrounding it. Barely a town, not one you would find on any map, but it held an important place for those there, even if we were far from the beaten track. Small families, tied like a knot, joined at the wrists in mind and thought. All welcomed, all had purpose. You were helping a woman give birth?
Yes. Yet, I believe you only saw a small part of the birthing ritual. It is not all in a moment, nor in a day. It is a journey of many years between the child, the mother, and I.
There's much I could do to aid the mother. Some sought the physical comforts of the ritual to steady their thoughts, even Audra from the bell. Others would seek advice, words of counsel for the days ahead. I was able to provide draughts, tinctures, and a reading of the child's spirit, all to strengthen the mother. A telling of the child's spirit?
Many would come seeking their child's future, or a reading into the child's past, the lives its soul is said to have lived. Such things are not mine to see. I meant no offense.
Oddly enough, it feels like she's not speaking to you. It feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge, a chill which persists for a short moment, then fades into a dull fear. Interesting. You're frightened, something about Watchers. As the thought of Watchers cross your mind, you feel a sharp pain stabbing and the sudden burn of lashes across your back and shoulder. And then it is gone, and you feel the grieving mother before you, silent, almost fearful, wary.
I was something else, but because the title Watcher was cast on me, the word carried a weight I had neither earned nor deserved. The world seems filled with such titles. They distract, I think, from the actions of the person, from their strengths.
Why'd you believe you were Watcher?
The world has many corners, and in some corners the name Watcher is more known. It is an easier title than others, and at times it is easier to wear. Placing a title upon what is unknown can dispel the fear of it, and I did not fight it. I even believed it true, though I knew little of the ways of Watchers. It even granted me strength. I was able to see the thoughts of others, shape them, and help guide souls. Watcher seemed enough, and the name seemed to matter little in the light of one's acts.
But if they came to you to read their child's souls, what did you tell them?
I drew upon the present. I felt the soul of the mother before me, and used that to tell the child's path, to give it a voice. If only the thoughts of the mother and the emotions that lie beneath were mine to impart. I did, and so I used that as the telling of their child's future.
What if it turned out to be untrue?
Futures fulfilled by one's own spirit are as strong as anything seen by another's eyes. And if one draws from the emotion of the mother, it matters only when harm is done. And their lives I knew well. I could weave their lives, their thoughts over time, to the mother, to the child. And once the child had been born, was sheltered, I could relax the threads of thought until the child could stand on its own.
So you shaped their thoughts, made the readings true.
This is my calling, to show them the life I see before them, and even greater, make them believe it.
But from my understanding, that's not what a Watcher does. We do not shape minds, we see them as they are.
Even the most strongly worded tells may not be enough to save a child and allow it to be born. If I have the strength to strip away the stem of a mother's spite to expose kindness, weave nurturing from disdain and neglect, then that is my calling. And with the weight of Watcher behind my thoughts, these tells gain strength. Strength I never possessed on my own. They believed. And what they believed became the truth. With each child that was set upon that path, the title of Watcher became stronger. You must understand, without such a weight upon my words, many lives would have been lost, drowned, cast in the lake beyond the bell. Now the trail to the lake is lost and reclaimed by the forest, as was meant. A Watcher was not there to look over us, but it was a Watcher that saved them, and with a Watcher's strength, children were born, were cared for, and grew strong.
I see.
What use is a frightened will when a spirit is at stake? Would you let the fears of a mother end her newborn's life? You felt it in the memory, the weight of it, the importance of the child's life. It was a memory we shared.
Interesting. Did we share that memory, or did you inflict it on me? And suddenly there's a rasping cry across your consciousness. She raises her hands, and you see the chime drape from them. It make no sound as she moves.
A greater good was done, and children were saved. It is a choice you may be forced to make one day, and when faced with it, you will make the same one.
Oh man, I don't want to, like, you know, piss her off, but I mean, maybe I don't know what I'll do. As you clearly saw, ladies and gentlemen, what I did with, you know, it with the White March and some of those choices, and just, I don't know. We'll see. This might make her mad, but whenever that happens, I'll be making my own choice.
This choice is not yours to make, Watcher. You will do as the world needs, as its children need. It is greater than you and your twist of sight.
Let's continue our journey for now. So yeah, perhaps she'll open up more as the journey continues. And you know what? How close? Oh no, we're pretty still at the beginning of level 9. Alrighty, so I think what I'll do is try to complete The Man Who Waits. Show me a wealthy neighborhood that's also housed misery and madness. Prisoner by choice. Find this person, find this neighborhood, perhaps the guards will know of it. You know, I haven't leveled them. Hang on. Hang on, everybody. Oh, shoot, where is that at? You know what, actually, I think I can only do it at an inn. I'll wait then. So wealthy, I mean, I guess the first fires, right? Hang on, let's just go there. We'll see. We got the keep, we got the palace. The alien embassy. Hang on, where's one of the guards? Here's one of the guards. Where are the mad kept in Defiance Bay? Only place around here it takes them is in Brackenbury. Oh, the Sanatorium. Whoops. Yeah. I've heard you could they could treat your soul there. Take the madness away. But there's just as many stories coming out of that place and that will chill your blood. There's a man, if you want to call him that. Ethelmore. There. He's head warden. If you're visiting or checking yourself in, he's the one to talk to. Thank you. So let's go to Brackenbury. But yeah, I completely forgot about the Sanatorium. I think this is it. Yes. Aw. I kind of wish the music didn't cut out. I wish it, you know, keep going through the loading screens, but alas. There we go. It's requested a visit. Oh, okay. See that necessary preparations are made. Wait. What? Oh, the statue's talking. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down, unblinking over the bustled of haired academic, pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul beneath the stonework. You feel the attention turn towards you. It's been some time. A watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what has brought you to the Sanatorium? Well, you might have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. He groans. I could have done without hearing that today. Many of their intrusions been into our Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own accord. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I'm reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be as some of us in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the leaden key as well, I take it? Yes, let's just say I'm trying to determine what they're trying to do. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have any idea who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Very well. In that case, I'd recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. I think that's all for now. I'll look around. Let's talk to this one. Speak to the head. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Wait, would this not be stealing? Oh, okay. I'm good on that. Let's try over here. This man's soul was torn sunder by baywork. As you can see, the patient is unresponsive, common after soul trauma. They must just place a small stone upon the patient's forehead. A portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We used this stone as a vessel for transfer. Can you hear me, Oswin? Patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Fortunately, the extended dissertation has permanent side effects. Patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. With further research, we're confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Osmond.
Gods keep you.
Bald man with a crooked nose gestures and demonstrations of the still body of the patient. For a small gathering of interest and onlookers. Feeling your gaze, he pauses the discussion. Have you come to sit in? Has anything unusual or suspicious been happening around here? He shakes his head. Definitely not up here. We can't be scaring off visitors and potential clients, you know. His voice becomes quiet. Downstairs is where the more esoteric research is done. I'd check with the animators there.
Yes?
Thank you, sir. To the basement! You know what? I haven't saved it in just a little bit, so let's go ahead and save it. Hi.
Welcome.
Why is her name purple? Wait, has all the names always been... Anyways, yeah. Ekosi. Here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kid standing in front of me. What can I do? Have you noticed anything unusual or suspicious here lately? It is rare for me to notice things that do not relate to my work, even when they are in front of me. Yeah. but I'm not the best choice to help you with that. Something else you need? Well, thank you for your time. And Metzer scribbles feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. As your shadow falls on over a scroll, he looks up with you a mingled perplexity and irritation.
Greetings.
Can I help you? Has anything unusual been happening around here? You must be joking. This is a sanatorium. Nothing is usual down here. Although now that I think of it, the patients seem more agitated lately. But they're Cadman Ozer's responsibility, not mine. And if there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
Yes?
So let's find that person. Okay, not in there. Can we get past this door? Require the proper key. Wait, really? I mean, I understand that, but... Well, let me talk to this person then.
Gods keep you.
Oh my, you startled me. Were you supposed to be in here? I was investigating any suspicious activities in the sanatorium. Oh, I'm just, Master Enzo's assistant. You know more about that, but he's in the middle of busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out from the patient ward. There's nothing else, I need to get back to work. Is Enzo busy with patients, or is he running some sort of experiment? I'm just an assistant. I'm not my place to gossip. I'm sorry. How do I get into the patient ward? Only Master Enzo has access. I guess Head Warden Elthamore does too, but the statue does. Okay, yeah. Let's go back to talk to him. Thank you.
Gods keep you.
Have you learned anything of interest? Maybe. Is Cadman Onzo running experiments on the patients here? Experiments? Gonzo is in charge of the patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Cadman. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I'm granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you'll wish to speak to him further on this matter. And I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask also that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Thank you. Let's go back down after gaining access. The head warden says you can go in, but be careful in there. Thank you. Alrighty. Main keep construction complete. Let's see what else we can rebuild now. The south wall, west wall, merchant stalls. You know what? Let's do the south wall. Finished in 4 days. Gosh dang it. Let's see. Where is he at? Need a proper key for that. I'm just gonna gently not worry about them. Patient. Bunch of patients. What's in here? Oh, it loops around as well. Okay, nice. Hang on, everybody get inside. Let's shut the door.
I'll give it a try, at least.
Yeah, let's open it. Let's
As
see
requested.
see what's in here. Raven Wing. Unique mace. One-handed. Awesome.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Hi, sir.
I'll give it a try, at least. As requested.
Don't mind me, though. Bledith Golan. Unique light armor. Breakout, preservation, fine. Ooh, let's give that to... I think Aloth. Let me see what he has. What do you have? DR9? Okay, never mind. What about the Grieving Mother? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna... Recovery speed is minus 25%, but... Let's go ahead and give her that. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose. Okay. Exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Ermal told me you were not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmore hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object. So I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If animators are allowed to... if animators are followed the commands of their leaders, where would they be? We'd all be as backward and willful ignorant as Recrius. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We'd be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. I never thought I'd find myself in agreement with a statue, but this Ethelmore is right about this fellow, at least. How easily ambition masquerades as prudence. I'll bet he's fooled even himself. Let's see. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives.
Indeed. Many lives have been spent in such pursuits, writing treatises and poems. But tell me this, how does one verify the truth of a poem? If some philosopher stumbled across the meaning of our existence, how would we know it from a false one? These are wasted lives. In animancy there is progress. We are measurably closer to complete understanding because of our work. And that will be true until our work is complete. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it. Now that Ethelmore's involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. Well, I need to know if you've seen any unusual behavior out of your patients. You're going to get a lot of looks asking questions like that in the sanatorium for the unbalanced. In truth, I've spent a little time treating them since I've been reduced in my capacities. You might have luck with some of our more functional patients. They tend to congregate in the main area, just past the entrance to the patient wards. Thank you.
I'm here.
You know, I think I remember seeing one named one over here, and I think that's who I'm going to try first. Yeah, this one. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. Have any of the patients been acting unusually? Well, there's, oh my gosh. Who's that name? who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who they say only has half of a soul and who was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Wow, okay. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master also let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and wouldn't be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. That's Graham. I see them talking to him the most. He struggles, but he's always a bit of a wild one. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separated. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor, just Master Anzo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Alrighty, let's go ask him.
What is it now?
I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. So you can coerce them into your experiments? Fariel told me everything.
She's a patient! That blazing woman knows nothing of the nature of my experiments.
He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into the index finger. A growl shimmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face. Goodness.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
Pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Thank you. Alright. Let's see if we can get into the North Ward. Actually, no, we probably should go over here. Oh, wait, that's the North Ward. Oh, okay. Let's see. Just gonna take a look around.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets. Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
These animancers are as mad as their patients. But if all were treated like this, the Sanatorium would never survive. What did these patients do to warrant such conditions? Well... I'm gonna do resolve. These enemies justify their sadism with false cures and charlatans' tricks. Any good they've done is a coincidence. I suppose. If they had a real understanding of all they profess, they would not do this. He hangs his head. Let's be on our way. This place gnaws at the soul. Now, granted, I will say there's probably some good people in here. There's bound to be, but I don't know. You're not who I'm looking for. Interesting, I can't access that door. Graham, there we go. This man has the look in his eyes of a hunted animal. And as you approach, he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if it would get him farther away from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you've heard. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed. as though his tongue were cut out. Oh God. They were impossible for you to discern, if indeed any words at all. Those animators did this to him? You can see what comes of their meddling. Brill said you were being treated by Caedmon Azo. He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of his cell. And as he does so, for the first time, you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is a misshapen, as though maimed by some jagged instrument, and a large expanses of have it been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. Let's do it. You project out toward the maimed soul in front of you, merging with it. His confusion of fear becoming yours as it whisks into the depths. You're in your cell. A key turns. The door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else? In your mind is a single word, and the word is no. But it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, cornered. You cry out. In the darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room, carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across the books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal succumbs the crown of the head and breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They've dismantled his work, and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob, and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats. And you are screaming. A scream that you can barely hear. Goodness. Another night. Heavy footsteps outside the door coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, an artificial being just outside, but facing left. Facing the end of the hall. The boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor. Like a shed of snakeskin, the giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away and leaves. Graham looks at you, still wide-eyed, but somehow more present. He nods. He walks back to the end of his cell. Okay, so, you know, it's funny. I started to go in the right direction anyway. Adolescent boy stands in the center of the cell. Stooped shoulders. He stares straight ahead. Occasional blink, his only movement. It is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. So yeah, let's reach out to his soul. Close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering, and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless. Oh, goodness. And you've crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanatorium. The halls are moonlit and empty as you are walking. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in a silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds. The same stops every time. The misbegotten child of a dependent creators. When the construct is close, you curl yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though you were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapse into the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You're rushing towards the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly. And you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul, implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it, contained in this new vessel. You are strong again. You step heavy-footed down the corridors, unheeding by the other constructs, and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad. Coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers, that preserves implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still. This is no play. Balding man with the rodent-like features is strapping you into a machine. The one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. But this body's not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous, unlike the others. This one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with enthusiasm, worthy of a hero's interest. "Bear witness," he says as he pulls the lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the one side of the man's brow. But the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the glow crawls through a tube along a length of copper wiring that runs to set the electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should, but for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes in his settings and play puppeteering for Hullowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with the soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up the crowd. "Behold!" he says, but there's obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a pawing step forward, and then another, and then another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hullowborn is capable. The crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" He asks at a volume meant for the crowd. And this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched. But you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd. By the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twists on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You're pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders, and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond the mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you've seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an Audra monolith at the center. The room is filled with people, and the people look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back to reality at once. Once kind of erotic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistake now that it is the soul of Theos, the man you've been searching for, that gazes out from the borrowed husk. A watcher. Interesting. I believe we share a common past. I'm looking for some answers. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant. And it seems for the moment that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. I know your look. You hunger. Hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with a startling pace, putting himself out of reach. On his face, there is no malice, only dispassion. Of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly, he slumps forward. Oh boy. Yeah, thankfully now, because the White March and our level and everything, we are steamrolling this now. Alright. Let's store all that.
Of course.
Can we do anything else in this room? Oh wait, here we go. Potion of minor endurance, bloodstone, and money. Okay, so this whole place is now, here, everybody get out of here.
My mind feels sharp as steel.
Goodness, everybody. I like how it's just running in place, oh my goodness. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Will they attack? I wouldn't think so. We'll see though. Nope, but they looks like they ran. Oh
I
wait.
can do that.
Yeah, get that for us.
As requested.
North Ward patient record. The Pale Lady. Oh, okay. Patient record Graham. Midnight Man. Gotcha. Alright, let's head back up, see what's happening. It sounds kind of chaotic. What the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. I had things under control until I killed the Leaden Key spy, at which point he possessed... Actually, you know what? No, let's not tell him that exactly. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Uskrim, was working for the Leaden Key, only without knowing it. You finish your explanation and Ethelmore breaks the silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief, and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again, I could be some real use in our time of need. I fear what future may hold for this place. I'm grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before we lost any innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. What of Anzo? What part did his experiment play in this catastrophe? Well, yeah, I think we'll say this. The Leaden Key would have found a way to interfere with the Sanatorium, even without Anzo. Your half answer suggests a bias, but it also suggests it's close to the truth I'll get from you. Cayman will remain here, but he will be monitored. And under no circumstances we have access to any of my equipment. Alright. Well, I guess now we can go inform the Lady of the Web about what has happened.
Welcome.
Oh? Excuse me, but I've been looking for you. You're the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill? My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes for you to have it. Here, may it save you well in battle. Thank you. She bows. You are quite welcome. St. Garham's Spark. Now it must be off. Farewell. Thank you. Alright, back to the Lady of the Web. We have some interesting revelations to give her.
How fares your search?
Well, there's something I need to tell you about the Leaden Key's operations.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Theos in Brackenbury's Sanatorium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
Well, I got one more thing. Mangrithan Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that can control the flow of souls. The Leaden Key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Engwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame animancy for it. As we speak, the Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path for some time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in. See what you can arrange.
Okay. Anything else I need to know?
What of them?
Wouldn't... Let's see. Yeah, what is there to know about the Duke?
Avar is many things to many people, and that is why he sits the throne. To the frontiersmen, he is one of their own. To the patriotic, he is a sole descendant of Admeth Hadrit. To the nobility, he is from an old and established family. All of these are half-truths or exaggerations, a tale he has spun around himself. The man behind the tale may not be the greatest mind in Deerwood, but he knows people. He knows when they are sincere and when they lie. He knows when they are strong and when they are weak. The other matters he leaves to me. Outwardly, he prefers to come off a bit of a simpleton. Don't be fooled. Before he was a duke, he was a trapper, and an excellent one at that.
Wouldn't they allow a guest of Dunrow into the hearing?
We would only do that as a last resort.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Walking in with one of the 3 invited groups puts you in a position of influence. Walking in alone as a representative of Dunreed Row would earn you distrust among all the rest. It seems our organization has a reputation for nosiness and manipulation, for whatever reason. It would be best if people did not see Dunreed Row's hand in this. Easier for them to embrace the truth.
Gotcha. I have a few other questions.
Yes?
Is there a Lord Webb? I'm gonna do it. Is there a Lord Webb?
There was.
Oh. What happened to him?
He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
Alright, I won't dwell on the subject. Thank you.
I'm here.
Alright. So now we have to... you know, gain favor with one of the factions. I think we started to... Well, actually, no, I think we got both of them. The Dozens and the Knights. We started to gain favor with that. And mainly when I started to do the Dozens, you know, go into that expedition hall. I mean, that's mainly why I wanted to do it, you know, to go on more quests and whatnot. I don't know. I might also check out the Knights and just see.
I still can't believe the tablet is truly gone. Years of study, only to find a little pile of stones.
I know, Kana.
There is no greater suffering of the soul than failure.
Every piece of evidence pointed to that tablet, and now it is out of reach forever.
Your life's work was for nothing.
Well, now, that's not quite... I mean, we did learn more about the Engwithins than just about anyone else alive.
Shh. Do not ruin this for me.
So yeah. Let's see. I think... Oh, you know, because we haven't... I doubt I have enough for Adair's records. So I'm going to hold off on that. I wonder how hard that siege of Cradhold would be. I'm gonna hold off on the battle. And of course, we need, you know, now since we have gathering up favor with one of the factions. Once we do that, we might try the Battle of the Endwood Field. And then we have Durance and the Grieving Mother. I still have to wait for to access Sagani's stuff on the other side of the map. Two-sided. Oh yeah, and the Awakening stuff. I need to do that. Find somebody, you know, to help Isilmir, or you know, Alof. So I can do that. Oh yeah, and the side stuff for the White March. I need to go back and do that. I'll be honest, I'm tempted to just... Let's see, how close are we? Not even close at all. Because a part of me really wants to just go back and try the end of the Forge again. I don't know. We'll see. But I think my thought right now, I'm going to go to the Crucible Knights, I think, to begin with. See what they need. See what more they're about, possibly. I might go back to Cadnua and see if I can continue down further in those levels. But yeah, I'm really tempted to try the battery again. I don't know. We'll see. I think this is where I'll end the video for today. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I greatly appreciate it. You know, just for taking the time out of your day to, you know, to view this content. So, as always, wherever you guys are, have a good day, have a good night, and take it easy.